What's Kennedy Park? Kennedy Park is a forgotten neighborhood, is what Kennedy Park is. And Steve and I here, let's go back. So how do we meet, Steve?
I'm Steve Smith of Irish Realty, and I'm sitting here with my good friend, Joseph Petty of Necessity Builders. And we're sitting inside this beautiful home at 1603 Florence in Kennedy Park. Joe was the builder on this home. It was funded by Habitat for Missions as a fundraiser house. And we just want to tell you a little bit about how we came to build a new construction home on South Bend's west side here in Kennedy Park. So we met back in 2018 through our friend Rob Gu, who brought us to a Christian businessman's breakfast together. Mm-hmm. So we got to meet each other, and then afterwards we said, we should grab a coffee. Just get to know each other a little bit. And so we went to Angelo's down the south side, had some coffee.
It's good food, Angelo's. That's a free plug.
Shout out
to Angelo's.
Yeah, we love you, Angelo's.
Yeah.
And we got to talking, getting to know each other, and time was flying by. We ended up talking a lot about housing. Mm-hmm. And how expensive it is for people. And then we were talking about minority housing discrepancies and all kinds of stuff. And also we realized we kind of had this shared passion for housing. We said, we should do this again. Yeah. We should get coffee again. So then what we do.
And well, interesting, we had another conversation after that, and we were talking about, you tell me a story about affordable housing, and people were like, $250,000 is affordable housing. And we're like, affordable to who?
For who?
It's like, who is that affordable for?
Exactly.
And we started talking about doing, and back then, so 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, this is pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
This is pre-inflation.
Yes.
Interest rates doubling, almost tripling.
And we were actually talking about building a house for $100,000.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely unheard of.
Exactly.
Now, back then, it was like, if we just, script here, there, we could probably, I think we can do it. And then COVID hits. And then it kind of shuts things down for us. We still want to do it, still had the passion for it. So I started flipping houses myself and took on my first house. And Steve actually helped me with one of the projects that he had, and he gave me an opportunity, and I was like, let's go. I learned a lot. This business is not for the faint of heart, and I understand why people fail. Absolutely have a clear understanding about it. So I was like, Steve, man, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I learned a lot. Let's talk about what it looks like to build a home. So we started this journey about the process. And after we started meeting again, we met with some other people who were interested in what we were talking about. And so we started the journey thereon. And then pick up, Steve.
So we're like, we just need to get a lot and just build one. And so, first we bought a lot over in Keller Park area, Woodlawn area, off of Hollywood. Like, we're gonna build on this lot or whatever. And then we thought we had a plan and it didn't happen or whatever.
Right.
No, it must not have been the one or whatever. And so finally, actually someone in the city was like, you guys, there's a tax sale coming up. Like, maybe you guys will pick up a couple lots pretty cheap over here in like this Kennedy Park area. Auction's coming up, we get set up. It's like, well, what are we gonna bid on these? I'm like, what are they asking for? I'm like, they start out really cheap, like $25. What? Like, that's crazy, you know what I mean? So we put an offer in, I get out of a meeting. How many we get? 200. My wife's gonna kill me. Shoot, now what,
Now, when he told me, I said, yeah, that sounds about right.
And so, of course, it's like, okay, what are we gonna do now, or whatever, but we're really excited about it because South Bend's our town. You're watching this, hopefully it's your town too. And, we're excited about this neighborhood, Kennedy Park, that we're sitting in. Okay. 75 years ago, this was Granger. This was the suburbs. This was the expansion. Studebaker's in its heyday, employing, thousands of people in South Bend. This was walk to work.
Yep.
This was new construction, expansion, new schools, new parks. Everything was shiny and new. And now here we are. Studebaker closes. Yep. South Bend's a Midwest Rust Belt town. Economic depression. all different kinds of things here. And then Mayor Pete comes in and tears down or rehabs 1,000 homes in 1,000 days.
Right.
They tore down over 700 homes. And many of those lots are right here in Kennedy Park. So when you mention a forgotten neighborhood, some of these streets have just a couple houses on it and lots of.
Right. It can't even be considered a ghost town because there's nothing there. There's so much barren land here, and the opportunity is ripe. The problem is the cost. Like, just the reality of the cost is you can get the land for cheap, but then you have to put in the taps. I mean, luckily we have a program now that helps us with that. But even then, labor costs have gone up, material costs have gone up, and people don't want to build houses like we're sitting in. That is part of the reality of it. That they just want the bigger, better deal, and then to try to sell it. So, am I going to be able to sell a $350,000 house in Kennedy Park? Maybe someday, but not today. And that's really the focus of why we said, well, we should just do it anyway, and we'll see what happens.
Exactly.
And that's what we did. I mean, we didn't see anybody else doing it, so we said, you know what, we're crazy enough.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm crazy enough. But we also had to find a way to fund it. So, Steve?
Yeah. So we get these 200 lots, and we're like, now what? You know what I mean? And we've had some wins over here. Habitat for Humanity came in about a year ago and bought 14 of those lots, and they're going to be building here on Florence Street and College. And there's some great church partners and schools, and there are some neighbors who've lived here for generations and years. And so while we still got those old timers who, oh, hey, look, that person lived, you can eat off that yard,
Right.
the edge, and it's just beautiful. So we've got a core here, but it was like, okay, how are we gonna get this thing funded? And there's this really cool organization called Habitat for Missionaries. And in general, they partner with either missionaries or church organizations to further, Christian, missions or education or whatnot. And so we have this domestic missionary, a guy named Brian Cushman. And this guy is helping support Hispanic pastors who are doing church plants around America here, but he has to raise a lot of his own support. He doesn't get a salary. And so we're looking to do a project for him. And I was talking to some of the other guys. I'm like, yeah, we have these 200 lots. We're like, well, why don't we build a fundraiser house, and see if we could, we'll list it for free, and maybe we can find a builder who build it for free and create some value there, and then sell this thing. And then, hey, we could help you get this project started in Kennedy Park, and we could raise some funds to support Brian Cushman. And so that's what we did.
Well, it's funny because Steve came to me and said, hey, you want to build a house? And I was like, I want to build a house. He said, no, for real, you want to build a house? I'm like, oh wait, so this is a real thing? It's like, no, this is a real thing.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Like, we're doing this. Are we doing this?
We're doing this.
Are we doing this? We did it.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time coming. This is such a great opportunity that I think people have missed. Like, you truly have missed it. There's beautiful homes here that can be easily remodeled. I'm actually doing one around the corner. Just keeping with the momentum. Like, this house is building momentum, and this is what's needed. Our community, some of the open houses, we had great feedback, and they're just like, you did a great job. And I'm like, I'm kind of a perfectionist. I was like, what about this spot right here? And Steve was like, Joe, you built the whole house, and you're worried about this spot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm so focused on the little things, but I think that's what's gonna make it great. That when we start seeing the bigger picture, even with the small stuff, we take advantage of the opportunity that we have over here, and that's why we're here.
Yeah. Well, another thing that's cool about this Kennedy Park area that is such an opportunity with the economic environment that we find ourselves in. You got all these people out there, these old timers who are like, interest rates are 7%, like that's nothing, back in the 1981 it was 19% or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, and houses were $15,000. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? We've had this combination of these inflated prices with interest rates that were so low for so long at 3%, and then they shot up to 6%, and then 8%, and then now they're hanging out around 7%. And it just made housing so unaffordable for so many of our citizens. But it's interesting. I've now married into this real estate family, and next week I'll have been in real estate for 20 years, which is awesome. But I grew up in a 900 square foot house in Eastgate Edition over by Bain Park on the east side of town, right? And all the houses around me were the same, right? It was like little 900 square foot houses or 1,300 square foot Cape Cods. And it's interesting now, I look around, it's like, wait a second, in 30 years, I don't think I've ever seen someone build a house like the one I grew up in, right? Like the smallest house I see is like a 1,500 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch, or maybe a almost 2,000 square foot 2-story. And at today's prices, that's just not affordable for the vast majority of people. That 1,500 square foot house today, built out in a suburban neighborhood, it's like $400,000, $450,000. The mortgage payment on that is like $4,000 a month, right? I mean, it's like no one wants that payment, right? It's like, and so we have this interesting dynamic now where people really need housing, but the cost to build it is like way too expensive. But here in Kennedy Park, like, hey, we see it. We see, there's tons of 800 square foot 2-bedroom houses and 1,100 square foot 3-bedroom houses. We built them for 100 years. And then we just stopped. Right. Well, now we started again. And we sold this house for $200,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it was an exciting build. And I think what kept me going and the challenges was it's so needed. Like, it's bigger than me. Like, I just kept telling myself, it's bigger than me. This was my first build, like I said before. So it's very different from flipping houses. So if you think, man, I'm a house flipper, I can come in and just build, it's the same thing. It's not. It's not the same thing. So don't think it's the same thing. It's very, very, very different. You learn a lot about yourself through this process. It's like, do I really want to do this? Oh, this is brutal. And then the realization of when it's done, the finish line. Oh, it's so sweet. If you're a runner, when you get to the end of the finish line, it's such a sweet thing to get there, and then to see this, and then to see that a new family is going to come into this home, and maybe with someone who may not once lived in this neighborhood, but because of what they're getting and because of what we're bringing, it brings the opportunity. And the new Dream Center, right, just a couple blocks over, is an awesome draw. That place is incredible.
Incredible.
It is absolutely incredible. And then the money injected into this neighborhood is so needed. I mean, the weakest link. So a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. I'm not saying Kennedy Park is the weak link, but it needed some attention. And I'm glad that we could be a part of this.
Yeah.
Give this some attention.
Absolutely. But we don't want to do it alone.
Right.
And we want to keep going.
Absolutely.
We still got 185 lots.
That's right.
Left to go. And so we just want to let you know that good things are happening in Kennedy Park. It's a great time to get in now. How many people look at the Notre Dame market and say, man,
right,
I wish I had not sold my house, or I wish I had bought a house or bought some land. That is Kennedy Park right now. People are like, no, not Kennedy Park. Yes. Kennedy Park. They just put this Dream Center, the King Center there, $30 million community center. It's amazing. You can build a house and live one block. You can walk there.
Yep.
You can go exercise there. You can recreate there. They got playgrounds. They got all this stuff. And so this is a tremendous opportunity. They're building all this economic development just to the west of here in New Carlisle, Amazon, GM battery plant.
Right.
You've got sidewalks and water and sewer. You can walk to downtown. Like, this is a great place to live.
Absolutely great place. I'm excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, me too. Joe, thank you for being here today and for helping share some of this story. Thank you for donating so much of your time and efforts to build this home and make it a reality. And we hope that you've all enjoyed learning about this and what's going on here. If you're interested in getting involved, maybe you want to build a home or you don't think you could own a home or build a home, we want you to reach out, but we've begun a website for you. Go to kennedypark.org. and you can find out more about lots that we have available, floor plans that we have available. You can get in touch with Joe, you can get in touch with me, and we'd love to have a conversation with you about how you can get involved in Kennedy Park.